Yo, what's going on? So in this video, what you're about to see is an in-depth training that I do with my setting team that allows them to have great discoveries, and that's allowed us to already collect over $1 million this year, and it's only February 10th. This month we're pacing for $700,000, and this training is really good for having discoveries, for role plays, active listening, and being present on the actual setting call. Now, if you guys want a framework on how to have amazing discoveries for your setting team, or maybe for you specifically, just comment the word simple down in the comment section below, and I'll send it over to you. Other than that, if you're looking for some sort of consulting, one-on-one training, or coaching from me, or you just want some help, just message me at the real Aaron Thomas on Instagram. Other than that, enjoy the video.
I would say what have you experienced that makes you feel like you want to get extra income?
Okay, I feel like, I'm gonna give it to you, but you don't need to ask that. Like,
So I just say what
right,
makes you say that?
bro, don't ask me. You're getting points for this. So you want to stick with this?
No, no, no. Okay, I'll say what has you looking to make extra income?
Well, as you looking to make extra income from trading, does anyone else want to give this a try? Because it was good until like a certain part.
I was just gonna say what makes you say that.
Okay, that's better. Because Mo, like, I wouldn't really say from trading because again, like, you want to keep it as open as you possibly can. Everything would be good if you were just eliminate the limit from trading. My job doesn't require enough for me and my family.
Doesn't provide for you, like in what way, or what do you mean?
Wait, which one? In what way, or what do you mean?
What do you mean would be a separate question. Doesn't provide for you can be just like a mirror. Doesn't provide for you.
Hmm. So you want to just leave it like that, or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Probably say like, what's that like? Or what kind of impact does that have on you?
why that?
Just a deeper probe. Because I don't know. If we're doing a full discovery, I'd probably just keep digging. Be like, what's that like? Like living paycheck to paycheck.
So if you were to get this right now in your next call, what would you do?
We live paycheck to paycheck. If I were to get that,
Yeah, like we live paycheck to paycheck, leaving nothing at the end of the month. What would you say to that?
oh man, that must suck. I mean, what's that like for you?
That's not bad, but like someone said it earlier.
Yeah, just be like, yo, I understand that must be very difficult. And just to make sure that trading is the best vehicle for you, with trading, you'll require certain capital. So, like, what have you thought about that or something like that?
Well, to form it into a question.
How were you planning to trade if you are just living paycheck to paycheck?
Okay, good. So Mo, you were right earlier, right? You would call that out. Me and my wife have a savings account and the liquid capital sits there doing nothing.
Is your wife also looking into trading, or is it just you?
No, I don't like that question. Too big.
If you're going the qualifying route, I would just ask, okay, so for you, like, what's the income you were looking to make? And then how much of capital have you saved up to trade? That's what I'm planning. I'm not sure.
Mhm.
Capital, do you have? But like, I don't want to ask it just up front. Be like, oh, we have liquid capital. Oh, how much do you have? And it's not even a minute. So I would just maybe
Yeah.
get some goals first and then be like, oh, and for you to be able to get there, how much capital do you?
So what do you do then with this? With we leave paycheck to paycheck, like them going into pain. When do you go back into that?
After qualifying, because I'm still not sure. Like liquid capital can mean 1K or 2K. That might not be enough. That's what I'm thinking.
So even if they had 1 to 2K, what would you do? Like let's play it out. What would you do if they had 1 to 2K?
Say if they have 1 to 2K, I'll clarify just to trade with, and they say yes, cool. Like, and for you to be able to get the help and everything, did you have some funds set aside? And they say no, and then be like, so I save time. That's the route I'm
Okay.
thinking. Like, you're already going to qualify. Like we asked, how are you planning to trade? That's to qualify, right? And if you're kind of not getting the answer and moving ahead, it didn't make sense for us to ask that question in the first place.
Okay. Mo?
I would go back about living paycheck to paycheck. I would want to see what um obviously he said he has capital, so he's not like fully a DQ. We could probably work with him. So I'd go back to what do you mean paycheck to paycheck? Like what would you rather live like or something like that? Or what about paycheck to paycheck that you don't want to do or something like that? But I don't know how to form it into a question, to be honest. I was just gonna say I would go back to that probe and then qualify.
Okay. Makai?
I feel like I'd want to clarify because it doesn't make sense. You have a savings account, but you're living paycheck to paycheck. So it's like, I don't know, I would want them to kind of expand on like how are you able to like, I guess like have a savings if you're living paycheck to paycheck. Because I feel like if I go that route, then I can also expand on like the pain, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think, and again, right, like I'm not saying to assume or anything, but like when people say paycheck to paycheck, they mean like without reaching into the savings. But no, I like that question. What's the exact question you want to ask?
I would say like, what do you mean you have a savings account if you're living like paycheck to paycheck?
Our expenses got higher as the year came. We used to save, but not before, but not anymore.
When you say your expenses got higher, what do you mean by exactly?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask like, oh, what kind of happened to where your expenses got higher? Like what caused your expenses to increase as the years came?
Those are both really good questions, actually. Pricing raised in the economy. Wait, what do you mean by that?
Like the economy, like everything became more expensive.
Okay.
Where work
As
still pays the same.
also 2 kids that just started high school.
I'll summarize and then ask how's it like your pay being the same, you putting in the same efforts, your pay being the same, but everything around you now making you live paycheck to paycheck. How's it like living paycheck to paycheck after the rising expenses?
Would asking them what have they done to have they tried to get like another job or something? Would that also be good or no?
Right here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now we're trying to get the emotional outcome.
And how much is your savings and how much would you have to dig into your savings?
No, I don't like that one.
And what happens if you have to dig into your savings?
So this does two things. One, that you asking that question, it's kind of like a
No
soft
security.
triage. Like you're also like you're thinking like, okay, do they have, the money at all? And then also if they do have to invest using their savings, right, into our program, what's gonna happen? Like if they have to dig into their savings. Passive income. Okay, what would you guys say to this?
So is trading more of a passive income or you're looking to do this full time?
You're on the right path, bro.
I was trying to like ask more open-ended. I don't know how to do that.
What's the outcome you're trying to get from like what
I
answer are you
wanna
looking for?
I wanna make sure he's committed instead of being just like making this like a passive thing. In terms of commitment, are you like what? I don't know. To be honest, my head is like all over the place because I was gonna ask more on the passive income side of it.
I would just mirror passive so that he could clarify like, oh, this is what passive looks like to me.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Passive income. Well, we have two doors that aren't closed, from what I remember. I think it's two doors and one door. It's number one, living a paycheck to paycheck to see if they have the funds to actually do this. I want my money to work for itself, and eventually I can commit to all my time to trading if I see an outcome for it.
To be honest, I probably would have took it a different way instead of asking like passive income. Because like I want to know like how long have they been in like the situation that they're in terms of like living paycheck to paycheck. So it's kind of like expanding the pain and then figuring out like what's missing or like why do they feel like they're not already at that point.
There's two things that I'm thinking. Me personally, number one, I still don't know if they have the funds because they're telling me that if they have to dig into their savings, it's going to lead into a rough spot. Meaning they have no security at all if they have to dig into it. Meaning if they invest into our program, this is what it's going to do. Number two, they said passive income. This is not passive at all. Like those are the two doors that we have to close. What would you do to try to close these doors? Or I guess which door would you close first?
Yeah, because we're right now on that topic of, commitment of time and stuff, I would try to time qualify right now itself. So I'll be like, I mean, cool, money working for itself, there are a lot of ways like long-term investments and stuff, but with day trading, it's something that you need to do on a daily basis for at least a couple of hours. That being said, how many hours have you set aside to be able to trade and learn about day trading right now?
That's good, but like, are they aware that day trading is active income? Like
Yeah, so
based off
that's
what we know.
First, I'll summarize cool, money working for itself. There's a lot of ways you can do like long-term investments. But with day trading, though, it's something that requires, daily presence for at least a couple hours every day. So for you, like how many hours can you set aside?
So it's perfect up until the last question, or sorry, up until the question because you're assuming that they want to do day trading, you're assuming that, which in this case wouldn't be a good thing because they said passive income, so they can have their money work for itself, and then eventually I can commit all my time to trading. Yeah, so you said, but with day trading, it requires 48 hours. Is that what you said?
No, 3 to 4 hours. I said couple
Oh,
hours.
my so we have the whole morning free. Okay, we close that door. Now there's another door that needs to be closed.
So I'll then go into, instead of going back into pain, I'll get into closing that door. And how will I do that is first by, okay, so for you to be able to like generate more income, what was the reason he said above.
Oh, passive income?
He's just getting out from paycheck to paycheck. Oh, he did say that he wants to do trading full time. So I'll just ask, so for you to be able to trade full time and get that freedom, how much of an income do you need to be making from day trading? And then I'll ask, how much capital have you set aside to be able to do that?
Now again, Kentrell and Josh, since you guys are newer, I don't want you guys doing this because this is more so for efficiency. Once you guys have like I'd say about like 3 weeks under your belt in terms of like this having calls, or up until I feel like you guys are ready, then you guys can start financial qualifying earlier. But up until then, I don't want you guys doing this. I'm currently making about 5K a month take home after taxes. So 10K will allow me to go full time. Cubic, is your hand raised for this one or from the last one?
No, I mean, like, it's the continuation of the last one. So now we ask, okay, for you to be able to make 10K, how much of capital have you set aside?
Okay, what would you guys do here?
I would say no, not about the programs, but how much have you capital have you set aside for trading?
Yeah, Ray gave it to you easily. All right. Well, now what do you do with this information?
Okay, cool. And in terms of getting help from Emmanuel, how much capital would you say you have to put in getting help?
Why would you ask that?
Because I wouldn't want to price drop right away and tell them like, or I would be like, are you willing to invest that into yourself too? Or is that just for trading?
So you clarify it, or because he just said we have about $13,000 total in the account set aside to invest and keep us secure. And
Oh,
earlier they said me and my wife have a savings account, the liquid capital sits there doing nothing. So we already know it's liquid and we know that they're
so
looking to invest. But remember, if they invest all of it, so we more than likely can't get a 12K PIF because they're going to be a very rough spot. I mean, they had
yeah.
no security at all. So I would not pitch the call. So what do you do?
Yeah, I mean, not now. I'll take it, but I think they're okay if they have 13K in total. They can still qualify for at least like boot camp split in two. So I'll go back into pain. Okay. So I'll basically summarize again. Okay, so you're in good spot, like you have time, you have capital to do this. And at the end of the day, it's for you like getting the skill set or something like that. And then I'll go back into pain. Okay, so how long has it been that you have been feeling that you were living paycheck to paycheck and not being able to increase your income?
I'm curious, Control, what are you gonna say?
I was just thinking maybe we circle back and we ask like, hey, why are you looking to get help? So then afterwards we can take that 13,000 number and then specify it.
How would you specify it?
So first I would ask them why they're getting help, obviously, and then I'm like, yeah, how would I do that? I ask, okay, yeah, for sure. And like how much some do you have geared to maybe towards education or solving that problem or getting out of that situation?
So you want to clarify how much did they have specifically for help? Why would you do that though if they already told you like in total they have 13K?
Because I mean, we don't know where that number's like it's 13K, but I would want to specify like how much is for trading and how much is for education. Because it could be, oh, I want 10K for trading, 3K for education, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
I mean, so what I'll tell you is like 13K, like they said to invest and keep it secure in the account. So they also said that they have savings liquid earlier capital. We don't need to like assume, or sorry, we don't need to clarify more and see like where the money's at. That's not our job. Like, let's say they do say 10K for trading, 3K for investing. Worst case is like a 3K for investing, cool. Like they can just pull out another 500 from the trading account potentially or from somewhere else. I will let the closers worry about that because he did give you a lot already. So there's no need to like dive deeper. But Shubik, that was the best answer you had said. So you basically said, how long have you been feeling, what did you say? You've been living paycheck to paycheck?
Not being able to, yeah, something. Yeah, that's the thing. So how long have you been feeling that you have been living paycheck to paycheck and not being able to increase your income?
Since my kids started high school, things got more expensive for the last year about.
You living paycheck to paycheck for the last 1 year, how has it been affecting you personally?
So now that we know this, and a roll call, I'm sure you would remember. It's just since we're pausing so many times, we're forgetting. Knowing this, would you add anything to your question, Shubik?
Get very worried about digging into savings. No, I'll just add that into you. So, I mean, you living paycheck to paycheck and worrying about digging into your savings for the last 1 year. how has it been affecting you and your family or something? How has it been affecting you and your family life?
Okay, this will be we'll do one more question. It makes me feel like I failed as a father. Ooh, I can't take my family any vacations and I have no money to spare to treat them. Last question.
I would say, what do you mean failed? And then obviously he would probably expand on that. Or I would maybe say I'd probably primarily go failed, but or you could also ask why is that important to you to be a successful father or take your family and do these type of things.
I mean, don't we all want to, treat our family as the man in the family, so we all want to take care of them. So I feel like I can't take them on any vacation and I have no spare money. So it just means that I'm not doing good enough for the family.
Yeah, 100%. I really see what you're saying there. I mean, and why is that so important to you, being able to take your family out and provide these things for them?
Well, I want, I work for money for a reason, not just to afford basic living. I want to experience the real side of the world and just have that freedom and see other parts that we all haven't seen before.
Yeah, 100%. And then we'll just pitch out there.
What was the last thing you said, Dennis?
I said I just, I don't only work to afford basic living, I want to explore the world and show my family like what's really out there.
It's kind of goals. You could take this so many different ways. What you could do from here is, me personally, I would consequence because we're already this deep into pain. We've already gotten we know what he wants to do. Goals is vacation, how spare money to treat them, and then also make 10K a month, I believe, with trading.
We already consequenced them though at the top. We asked like what will happen if you dig into savings, and you already said like it will put me in a bad stop. It puts me in a very tough spot.
That's like very vague though, like a rough spot. We have no security at all if I have to dig into it. And then he goes negative and then he goes positive. And then we just kind of like, me personally, I would have dug deeper into that. Like, what is a rough spot? Earlier you said rough spot. What did you mean by that? So I would say, okay, I know you mentioned earlier, you said you're going to be rough spot if you don't change, right? But I'm curious, like, how do you mean by that? Because a rough spot looks different for everyone. Oh yeah, well, I may have to get another job or, whatever it is, which I don't want to do. Gotcha. So what you're saying is, so with what you're currently doing right now, is that going to allow you to reach 10K a month to, take your family and treat them out on vacation, or do you have to do something different like trading? No, I have to do something different. Perfect. And then yeah, you'd set them there.